I'm Seth, and this is Acquired Salary, the best living through career mastery. In today's short talk, I'm going to reveal the one step you're neglecting in your resume and how any level of professional can easily transform their resume using it. I will also give you examples of resumes getting offers harnessing its incredible power. It may seem obvious in retrospect, but for some it isn't. But first, let me show you what happens when I didn't use this and the change it made when I did. I was set to graduate in the middle of the pandemic. As I was thinking ahead, I decided to start applying to jobs before my last semester of college, as the job market had dramatically changed. So I suspected it was going to be hard to get into industry right out of college, especially with so many people out of jobs that had a few years of experience. My suspicions were right. I did not receive my first offer until 6 months after I started applying to jobs. Since it was my first offer, I practically took it without any hesitation. That said, it was not where I really wanted to be, so I kept on applying to other positions. I had my resume everywhere: LinkedIn, Indeed, Career One Stop, and so many direct company websites I lost count. Posting my resume everywhere was the bane of my existence because every time I would upload my resume, I had to fill out the information manually. Finally, after over a year of applying to jobs, I had received an offer that was in line with my expectations, as well as in the industry I wanted to be in. Yet, at that time, I still hadn't learned my lesson. It was only after receiving mentorship at my new workplace that I learned the one step I was neglecting, and now, after applying it, I have recruiters reaching out to me on a weekly basis for new job opportunities. Compare that to before, when not a single recruiter had reached out to me. So what was I neglecting? I was neglecting to construct and deliver my unique selling proposition in a way that would speak to my intended audience, specifically the applicant tracking system. So I'm going to reiterate this point. Your resume is the medium with which you communicate your value to your audience. Therefore, it's imperative to ensure that your resume is formatted and delivered to them properly. Before we can get into how we can ensure our audience is receiving our message, we need to answer the question of who our audience is. I already alluded to the answer, at least one of them. So your audience is going to be the applicant tracking system, the recruiter, and the hiring manager. Now, before I go on any further about your resume and how you need to use it to speak to your audience, if you're liking what you're hearing, please share this video with someone that might benefit from its message, because it is word of mouth referrals like this that helps grow Acquired Salary's reach so we can continue to provide free, valuable information. As the applicant tracking system is your first audience member, it's important to create an ATS-friendly resume. As exemplified in my story, I was neglecting the ATS and its feedback. I was ignoring its feedback because I didn't know it was giving me feedback in the first place. If you upload your resume into an applicant tracking system such as Workday or Eightfold or any sort of applicant tracking system along those lines, and it requires you to enter your information manually, this is a huge red flag, and I was ignoring it. The ATS is giving you feedback, and it's telling you that your resume is not formatted properly. Now, every company is different, but if the ATS can't read your resume, it's pretty likely that it's never going to make it to a recruiter for them to scan through it, and they typically scan for about 15 seconds. So, if you build your resume in Microsoft Word, I would recommend against using any of their fancy resume templates because they don't always play well with applicant tracking systems. As you work to reformat and optimize your resume, test it with applicant tracking systems. As mentioned earlier, you can use Eightfold, Workday, and other applicant tracking systems to see how well your systems, how well these systems are reading your resume. And if you'd like a video demonstrating this in action or on some example sites you can use for testing, leave a comment in the comment section below. The next audience member that you have to ensure you have satisfied if you want to find any success in receiving interviews is the recruiter. Again, I was neglecting to speak to recruiters with my original resume because I did not understand how busy they were and how much time they actually had to review each candidate's resume. The initial look-through, a recruiter may spend at most 30 seconds scanning through your resume before they put it into a yes or no pile, and if they put it into a yes pile, that's the resume that they're going to revisit and look at more in-depth, so you still have to get through a second recruiter review before you receive follow-up. Essentially, as they scan through your resume, they're looking for keywords and past experiences. My original resume was jam-packed with as many skills and experiences as possible. However, this is a major mistake because there's no way you can actually craft a compelling picture of your skills and experiences while staying within the 400 to 600 word count recommendation for most resumes. Simultaneously, if a recruiter sees that you have a comprehensive resume and they are specifically looking for one key experience or skill and it is not on your resume, then that leaves the recruiter with the assumption that you do not have it. Otherwise, it would have been listed on your resume. So, to speak further to the recruiter, first off, leave white space. White space plays into the psychology. It just plays into psychology, and it will draw attention to the few things that you have included on your resume. Secondly, make sure that your resume is customized to each position that you're applying for. To make a resume customization quick, I recommend using quick and easy resume templates, and you can build this out by just taking all of your past experiences, skills, and putting that on a resume template, and then you customize it to each individual job that you apply for. The template essentially should include the top 5 to 10 specific skills for roles that you're looking for, as well as the most common skills that are on job postings for the position of interest. Further, highlight your accomplishments that speak to those skills in action using the following bullet point formula. It is the A to Z resume bullet point formula. I call it the A to Z resume bullet point formula because using the formula lets you tell the whole story, A to Z. So A is going to be your action verb, 2 is going to be your skill, Z is going to be metrics or impacts. The final audience member that you have to satisfy is the hiring manager. The unfortunate news for the job candidate is that the vast majority of hiring managers did not receive any training on how to evaluate and hire candidates. Therefore, they follow the status quo, assuming that skill proficiency is a linear equation and that skills are not highly transferable. As a job candidate, you have to overcome this. This creates the expectation that you see in many job descriptions. The common example is the expectation that a candidate's resume must show 5 years of experience in a specific skill because this instills confidence that you are competent in the skill. There is some merit to the concept as years of experience and competence are correlated, but the relationship is not linear. Rather, the relationship follows a Pareto distribution, also known as the rule of 80-20. Every skill has a foundational principle, and understanding that principle allows you to solve the problem with the fundamentals first approach. The first 20 hours of skill development can create general competence. Further, as skills are built upon fundamental principles, the majority of skills can be grouped by the fundamentals. So to overcome hiring managers that simply follow the status quo, it is your responsibility to abstract out the fundamental principle that your current skills are, and then you can craft a compelling sales proposition to instill confidence in the hiring manager that you are capable of completing the task required for the role. This is especially important if you are looking to transition industries. The A to Z resume bullet point formula that we covered earlier will help you overcome the hurdles you are likely to face with hiring managers when applying to jobs. Highlight the specific skills of interest that you have and do well to ensure you've extrapolated out the fundamental skills that are transferable to the new role. That way you put your best foot forward to appease the hiring manager and win an interview. What do you think? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you've made it this far, you may as well like the episode and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on upcoming talk where I will discuss the steps that you need to take to prepare for an interview. If the concepts in this video make sense to you, but they are too abstract or you need help with the specific application, join the Acquired Salary community using the link in the description below, and we can schedule a consultation on how to go over any of the specific applications to your situation. Thank you.